I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the coming of the great and awesome day of the Lord. And it shall come to pass that whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Acts 2:21. And through signs, and symbols, the Lord has prepared us for the end that is soon about to come.
The value of pi. Christ is the narrow gate. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one returns to the Father except through me. John 14:6. What does the symbol of pi look like? Pi symbolizes a gate, the sign upon which the temples were built. And pi is an infinite and transcendental number, a number not understood in finite mortal terms. Albert Einstein once said that if he could comprehend pi, then he could comprehend God. For pi is the number of God, and it truly is. And what does pi look like? Pi symbolizes a gate. And in the beginning, Jacob had a vision of that gate. He had a dream, and behold, a ladder was set up on the earth, with its top reaching to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above and said, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, and the God of Isaac, the land on which you lie. I will give it to you and to your descendants. Your descendants will also be like the dust of the earth. And you will spread out to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in you and in your descendants shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Behold, I am with you, and will go wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. He was afraid and said, How awesome is this place! There is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And who is pi? Pi is a narrow gate. For pi is a symbol that represents Christ, who is the narrow gate. And do you remember what Christ said on Mount Olive? He said, Enter through the narrow gate. For the gate is wide and the way is broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who enter through it. For the gate is small and the way is narrow that leads to life, and there are few who find it. Matthew 7:12-13. For we all were created by the Father, and we all have fallen away from the Father, and we hope to someday return back to the Father. But to return to the Father, we must enter through the narrow gate. And the Greek word for gate is poi, which means the gate to the city. And by entering through the narrow gate, we hope to return back to the city of the Father. For as the prophecy says, Blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life, and may enter through the gates into the city. Revelation 22. But to complete the circle back to the Father, we must go through Christ, who is the narrow gate. And what is the scientific formula to complete the circle? The scientific formula to complete the circle is C is equal to pi times diameter. Circumference is the path to return to the Father, and diameter is the distance you are away from the Father. And Solomon was told when he constructed the temple that the value of pi was equal to 3. For when he constructed the sea of the temple, it measured 10 cubits from one brim to the other. It was completely round, and a line of 30 cubits measured its circumference. 1 Kings 7:12. 23. In other words, according to Solomon, pi is equal to 30 divided by 10, which is equal to 3. And obviously, that number is wrong. For many have come close, but no one on their own accord has returned back to the Father. For this is humanly impossible. For as we know, the symbol of pi represents an infinite number. That is until Christ the Son came down to mankind. For the sign of a son is the gate. For as he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can go to the Father except through me. John 14:6. For the word through comes from the Greek word dia, from which we get the word diameter. For only through the scientific product of pi and diameter can the circumference be completed. For Christ is pi. And when we go through him, then we complete the path back to the Father. But no one, and I mean no one, can return to the Father except through him. Thus, if Christ is the narrow gate, and C equals pi times diameter, then the path to return back to the Father through thy diameter can only be completed through the Son who is pi. And pi truly is an infinite number. For we can only return to the Son through him who is pi. And the circular pattern is a symbol commonly used in India. For the pattern symbolizes karma, the common phrase of what goes around comes around.